All right, I thought it was fun to start with a little song by the Archies, Sugar Sugar, because it pertains to exactly what I'm talking about right now. I was just having a major craving because I'm a little stressed for my little sweet tooth is usually involving chocolate, so I was having a craving for chocolate and peanut butter, and so I whipped up one of my little chocolate peanut butter banana Shakeologies, which help curb my craving. But I've been learning a lot about sugars and the way they're processed, so I figured I would share them with you guys and educate you. Because I was posting a lot of things I know last week about junk food and different types of sugars. So, all right, I did note on there, in regards to the meaning of what exactly they do to fat free, sugar free, low carb, zero calorie, and diet foods. So essentially, what happens is when you buy something that's labeled sugar free, diet free, low calorie, any of those things, basically what they did, the manufacturer did, was they took out the sugars and they replaced them with chemical substance, that tastes like sugar. It tastes like sugar, so that's why your body thinks it's sugar, but essentially the calories are empty. So that's why a lot of people become dependent on artificial sugars and artificial sweeteners, because your taste buds get used to them as well. So what happens is your body senses the sweetness and it doesn't get the calories. So you still feel empty, or you still have that sugar craving. So then instead of eating, like two sugar-free cookies, you end up eating like 10 because there are empty calories, so it actually produces very bad habits, for somebody. So the result is overeating, which is not good for anyone, number one. And number two, artificial sweeteners are 200 to 600 times sweeter than regular sugar. I mean, gosh, that's crazy when you think about it, right? So that's how it messes with your taste buds. And then it makes naturally sweetened foods like fruits not taste as sweet to you because your taste buds get used to the artificial sweeteners. So when you have a piece of fruit, it doesn't taste sweet at all. Or if you have something that's made healthier, like homemade granola bars versus over the counter, they don't taste as good to you because your body has become dependent and used to those sugars. It's the same with like Diet Cokes and things like that. They're not good for you at all. So when you go to quit the habit and you go to refrain from eating, those types of sugars, your body goes through withdrawal because your taste buds have adapted to the artificial sweeteners. And then regarding table sugars, you have to be aware of those too, because they are hidden in a lot of things. Say, for example, applesauce. Applesauce, unless it says no sugar added, there's sugar added to your applesauce. So you think you're eating something healthy, and it appears healthy, and they market it as healthy, but it's not. You're better off eating applesauce with no sugar added, or making your own applesauce at home, especially when it comes to children. Like, that is like the worst thing, to have children become dependent on sugars like that. And that's why a lot of other diseases and things like that didn't exist years ago exist now, because of things that are in processed foods. Fruit juice is another big culprit. People tend to think, oh, I'm drinking fruit juice, it's healthy. The typical 8-ounce glass of apple juice contains 4 apples. So you can drink 4 apples faster than you can eat them. Isn't that crazy? And not only that, the apples, or any type of fruit for that matter, as you're eating them, are processed differently in your body than when you drink them. You get more nutrients from eating the actual apple than you do drinking it, which is why I'm kind of iffy when it comes to juicing things. I prefer people to eat the actual fruits or vegetables. That's usually what I recommend my clients do. Now, if you have juice once in a while, that's, fine, whatever. But juicing as, a means of a meal every day, no. Because the same thing, it breaks down the nutrients. And the other problem people have is like with desserts and things like that. They'll go on an overly strict diet okay, which is not good because then it teaches you when you're ready to have that, like people will overindulge because they haven't indulged for so long, and that's not healthy. You know, that's a habit that a lot of people have a hard time breaking. So if you're going to have some like dessert or whatever and you're on a diet, I mean, that's fine. I have like a cheat meal, you know, here or there. I usually reserve mine for the weekend. But the other thing with that is if you're going to have that, you know, don't have something that's sugar free or fat free. Have the real thing. It's okay to have the real thing, but just have less of it, like portion it out. You know, because nobody wants to live a life where you're restricted from everything, you know, mentally and physically. Like, we would all go crazy. And that's just not good, you know. Okay, so now I'm gonna look and read what comments. That's really good, Denise, that you buy your kids the applesauce that, you know, doesn't have all those added sugars. A lot of parents don't even realize that, you know. There's a whole lot of things that go into processed foods that people really don't pay attention to. And especially, you know, when it comes to your body and what you're feeding your kids, like if you're eating healthy, like there should be no reason why your kids shouldn't eat healthy, you know. And if anything, if teaching them those habits at a young age, it's much more easier for them to adapt to that. Like my mom, she raised us to eat pretty healthy almost all the time, and I didn't know any different. You know, I knew when I went to like my cousin's house or whatever, they had soda all the time, and I knew like for us that was something that was like a treat, you know. And even then it was like little cup, not a big deal. So like for me, it's not a big deal to go without things like that because I grew up that way. So if you instill habits in your child early on, you're not depriving them. You're just teaching them a healthier way of life. So don't ever feel that way. Does anybody have any questions? No? Hello, Denise. Hey, Kara. Hi, Diane. You guys are all doing well. I hope this was very helpful for you. I've been learning a lot about processed foods because I'm working to try and heal my body naturally. So as I learn things, I'm definitely going to share them with you guys. I know this was my first live in a while, actually ever in this group. So yes, I'm going to keep, as I learn things, you know, sharing them with you guys. I'm also studying for personal training, so I'm going to learn a whole lot more about the body than I did as a fitness instructor. But I know a pretty good amount now, but I'm excited to learn more so that I can help you guys more. So if you have any other questions, if you watch this video, like the replay after about sugar or whatever, you can feel free to drop them below or message me or whatever. But I hope this video was very helpful, you know, so you could understand a lot better how things are marketed towards you and how they work in your body. All right, so you have a great night. I appreciate you guys all so much, and thank you so much for all your support the past 8 months through this whole car crash experience. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys. Have a great night.